We are live, we're live, we're live. Everybody see me everywhere? I hope so. Okay. All seems to be good and done. Done is done. All right. So, all right. Oh boy. Yeah, I really got that gained up, don't I? Okay. Maybe I'm a little too hot. Maybe I'm a little too hot. Boy, that's awfully loud. Okay. Let's hit those two buttons there. Let's hit. Oh, there we go. And guess the battery died. I'm going to turn that back on. It pays to recharge things every once in a while. So I shall now need to plug something in. Yes, it literally died as I was going live. Here we go. I can fix this. This one's easy. All I need is a micro USB cable, which I have a million of. Sorry. USB-C. There we go. See, told you I had that. Got that covered right here. And charger. And the neat thing about this table is I have 8 plug straps on both sides and in the front. So I can easily find a plug always nearby. And then I can plug this in here. And then I can turn this guy back on. Why did it turn off? I do not know. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hey Rick, I see you there. I see you, Rick. So, here we go. It's all been a battery night tonight. It's all been about batteries. It's all been about the batteries. Let's hope this guy works here. Yes. It's Murphy's Law. One thing versus another. So, tonight's show, these speakers right here. So if you're looking, I know Rick's been shopping like crazy for it, so we're going to see how that goes. And yeah, this would be like as if you walked into my store and said, hey, I'd like it to see what these speakers will sound like. So we're going to cover that in tonight's show. So we're going to see how this goes and take it from there. That's wonderful. Okay. So we are all set. I'm just making sure everything is where it's supposed to be. There's so many little things to keep an eyeball on. That's the split screen. Yes, that's working. I'm just checking my streams out here. That's that stream. And I'm going to give you a hello, hello. And that didn't chat out at all. Okay. So just so we get this all covered, we've got 4 Harbinger speakers. They're all 12-inch, so they're all sized the same. They all have a slight different appeal to them, a different sound to them. That's what we're going to be covering in tonight's show. We've got, in the first slot, we've got the V1112. That's a V11 1.2. That's their V11 or no V1000 series speakers. And if you're doing stuff for fun for free, regardless of what it is, or you're using a small church, good way to go. If you're using it for backyard parties, house parties, things where you're just going to want to have a great sounding speaker with a lot of energy, and you don't want to just buy a party speaker. That would be like, I don't want to buy a minivan, I just want a pickup truck. That's what you want to buy right there. It's a stripped down pickup truck. Next to that, the V3412. The V3412 is going to give you about twice as much output power as the 1100 series, and for the 3000 series, you're also going to get a nice app feature to it, which makes it really cool to use on your phone. They don't put a display wall in the back, but that allows them to have a much better price point. Now that's going to sound twice as loud as that guy there, dB wise. Next to that, as I move out of the way, next to that, you are going to get yourself right here, and that is the V4400 series. That's the V4412. Now that one's got twice the dB output as this guy here, so when you get to the top end, it gets twice as loud. In that price category, there's very little speakers that are going to compete with that power-wise. So where here at the 3400 series, you're going to be at a Mackie Thump, Thrash, that sort of thing, or the Alto TS412 series for that one here. You're also looking somewhere between here and there. I'm going to say closer to this guy is where you're going to see the Electro-Voice, and that's we're talking about the ZLX2 series. So that would be the 212. And you'd have to spend the money on the Bluetooth and all that to get to where you're getting with this guy. And last but not least, at the end, that is their heavy duty indestructible. If you're buying it for a school, or it's going to be really used, so if you have a rental company or you're in a commercial use where you transport your gear around a lot, that is the VR 412. And that one has the power of the 4412, but it has the features minus the app of the 3400. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what that could do. And in my hand, we're going to start using the Alto Ultra Bluetooth adapter, because I couldn't find my other one. And I was going to use just the Bluetooth 2 adapter they had, but it's been a battery night. The battery died on that. I went, had supper, watched Landman, came downstairs and the battery was dead. Yes, I forgot it on, but still should have, my fault, I should have charged it. And there we go. There we go. So we're going to go do this. We're going to switch over. We're going to listen to all these speakers. Now these are what they call ribbon microphones. So these are hybrid ribbon microphones, because a real ribbon microphone would not run on fancy power. These do, because they do have switch options on them, which allow me to take out bottom 80 hertz if I want, or leave it in. And it also has a gain control where I can adjust the gain levels on it. This is from Marantz. It's called the MPM 3500, I think it was. I used to call this out all the time. 3500R, and very good. I don't think they're available, but ribbon microphones have a unique ability to do this, what I'm doing right here, really well. So if you want to listen to them, we're going to be able to go through all the speakers using this. We're going to run the speakers at 25%, and we're going to see exactly how it sounds. We're going to be able to go speaker after speaker after speaker after speaker, and we'll do it twice. And I've got a lot of great music. It's EDM, so if you want to hear something besides EDM, it'll come around the second set. We want to hear what the bass performance is on the speaker. Want to hear how the sound changes as we move along, and it's a great way to go, because, and by the way, this is all from Artlist. The link isn't down below, but there will be one. I should have put that in already, but that's where I get all my music from. So we're going to start from the very bottom. We're going to work our way up, and all I need to do, don't do this at home, folks, I'm just plugging in a hot Bluetooth adapter in the back, and I'll be able to just move the music around as long as I did my job. So let's see if I did my job and it still works. And then we push this button here. Once I get started, it'll be pretty easy. And then there's another folder here somewhere. Ha ha ha. Music. No, that's not it. You know, again, on one of these, I had it in my phone. And music, songs, SDM, okay. Music, and there's one folder hiding in here. I found it! I found it! Okay, so this is all licensed music, so we're all good to go here. By the way, this is going to be my mic when it's actually on, but we're going to turn it off now. All right, so again, my microphone is so hot. Let's turn my mic down. Okay, so there we go. Is that working out okay for us tonight? Can you hear that? Let me know if you're hearing the music separate from my mic, because my mic is now working properly now, because I figured out what I did, which was not having the right mute position. Yes, I have to push a lot of buttons. Yes, I get it wrong sometimes, but that's okay. We'll get there. Hang on, we're going to turn this down here. We got the volume right. Let's take a look-see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, man, mic was not working during the intro. Okay. All right. So, do I have to do it over again, or can we all hear me now? Well, we'll talk it through as we go. We'll talk about each one as I go through one more time, because I am going to talk about some features and benefits on it. So let's cover that, and let's hear what it sounds like. So I'm going to mute my mic, hit that, we'll be all fine. I got to find another mute button here. So again, we're going to start with the V1112. We're going to play about 30 seconds of it, and then we're going to go on and then try the next one, and we'll talk our way through it. So now we're at the 4412. Which is the VR 412. He's working out. So there you go. So that's the one you're going to buy if you're buying a rental, that sort of thing. So if you want to buy something that you're going to send out or be in a commercial place, or you're buying it for a school or somebody asks you for your opinion, because when you're a DJ or you're the guy who knows all about speakers, people are going to ask you questions. This guy's in a wood box, built like a Sherman tank. It's got the power of this speaker here in it, but without all the crazy bells and whistles. So where something like James basically says bells and whistles, you know, compromise the ease of use of your product, so you can't just drop it and set it. You don't get that here. Features are in the back. That's all you need. It's all analog. So there you go. So as people come in, I'm just going to give you a rundown. I'm using an Alto Bluetooth Total, and that's running these guys here. Again, we've got the actual 11 series here, the 1000 series, the V1000. It's like $200. Then you've got a little bit more. You're going to get the V3400. So if you want to double the power, this is where you're going to go right here. And that's the 3400 series. Again, all 12-inch. Then if you want to get the full bells and whistles, so again, double the dB, gets you to the next guy. That's going to be your V4412, and that's got the apps, all the cool features, lots of bells, lots of whistles, lots of toys. And, you know, but there you go. It's all about the sound testing here tonight. And then over here, you've got your VR412, heavy duty, commercial, industrial, pounding wood box, which does make the whole thing sound different, by the way, because it's got the driver package of the 4400 series. So this guy here, that's the driver package you've got in your system inside the actual 412, and you've got the features of the 3400. I know it's a lot to think about, but you get no app. And it's like straightforward. It even has a QR code in the back to get the instructions. There you go. So, James, can I announce? I'll wait until you add your 2 cents in. Can I announce that the Gear guys plural, will be back for next Sunday as a comparison? I'm gonna be able to announce that? You tell me if you're able to do that. because there's rumors. There's rumors. So let's take a listen to the 3412. And again, all these speakers, by the way, they're all set at 25% or a little less. So this way I can tolerate playing them. And if anybody does believe those are ribbon microphones doing all the work, let me know and I'll show you how that works. So here you go. We're going to go to 3400. Cowboy hat is, by the way, your tall tail, because James said... So James found somebody who's got a pair of 3400s in perfect condition. Was it 34s or the 2315s? 2315s are not going to have the app, by the way, that the 3400s has. It has about the same amount of power. It doesn't have the new tweeter that these guys have, but very, very similar in overall use. Price is good. I mean, you're looking at $550 tax in is what he's saying here. And if we actually spin over and see what's going on here, and we're going to drop this, and we're going to take a look-see. Where did it go? I had it here a second ago. There you go. That's what I want to do. I want to bring that screen up. And let's spin this over here for a second. So let's take a listen to the last speaker while I set this up and get everything going. We've heard them all. Let's move the cowboy hat over. Let's do this one more time. We're going to do the 1112. This is the V1112. This guy's only $200. $200. I really hope I have the rights to that one. Anyway, so we're going to go through, we're going to keep going with these things. Let's cover out the prices here, first of all, what we're talking about. We're cowboy hat. We're pretending James is here tonight. We've got him a cowboy hat because he's down in Houston. So there you go. That is the V1112. That's $200. Now, again, if you're looking for some fun, that's some pretty good fun stuff. And what else we got? So I put them in order of price and, of course, sales, because that's what everybody wants this time of year, is to know what the sale price is. So $299. And remember, you got to use the link if it's not today, because you got to check those prices. That's the 3412. That's this guy here. Ta-da! And yeah, and then from there. Now remember, you're pretty much doubling power from the first one to the second one. From the second to the third, you're going to double power again for dB's outputs, okay? And then the last two are going to be the same. It's just how much of a Sherman tank that last one is. You'll also see it reflect in the price, by the way. If you're looking to rent and try out a speaker, that's the way to go. So you got only $299, so $100 more, double the price. Then, by the way, as a bonus, I threw in what I thought you would see in the same. If we were to slice up the pie and say, what would go here? What would we see here? I would look at basically the Mackie Thump, which would slide in right in the middle between the 34 and the 44, and that's $399. Then we would see the Alto, which is, by the way, on sale. So if you're an Alto fan, if you're a fan of all things Alto, by the way, surveys say that, and who would put, by the way, who would put a Behringer on a survey of budget speakers? So two things. I watched one of the guys I watch who makes videos. I wish I could remember his name, but anyways, he just put out like a week ago, he put out a survey poll, but for some reason he put Behringer on the list. Behringer, Mackie, and Alto and it was a budget thing. I don't know if anybody saw that video, let me know. So it was a budget video. This is something that James would look at on his channel because that's what he does. He roasts people. He shows people what's going on. So this video is basically, he had people do a poll. He had them vote. The Behringer, after I think a week of polling, came in third place with, I think he said it was like 8% of the vote. Then in second place was Mackie, and I don't remember what the math, you just got to check what the math was. And then in first place was the Alto with 49% of the vote. So before I got into these guys, which there's lots of great speakers out there, these guys are just a sponsor of the channel. They support us for our educational programs and everything we learn, how-to videos and all of that. That's what these guys do for me via Harbinger and Guitar Center, so they're very, very nice about doing that. But I wouldn't do it if I didn't like the product. And remember, I'm only obligated to do a review video for them, so whenever I do anything else, it's because I want to do it and I like it. So yeah, so can you imagine? Alto got like 50%. And I think it's because budget is such a wrong word to describe reasonably priced speakers for the right size gig. I mean, speakers that are going to be driven by a single point source type speaker, not a line array, not a full mounted array from the ceiling, not a stacked speaker system on the floor, but a point source speaker. You're going to have three different sizes. And some companies do only the top size. Some companies do smaller sizes. Some companies do fun and for free size, which is what this guy is here. Alto makes a fun and for free. I think Mackie now makes a fun and for free size. And what that means is that it's not your day-to-day paycheck. It's like, I want to buy the smaller pickup truck, like what's it called? The Maverick. That's the Maverick. That's going to be your 1500 series pickup truck. That's going to be your 2500 series pickup truck, and that's your 3500 series pickup truck. The engines in these two, the same. That one's just more heavy duty for heavier loads and heavier use. That's a perfect analogy. I like that analogy, especially everybody knows what a pickup truck looks like. So if you don't, I'm sorry, look up pickup trucks. It's the best I can do for you. And yeah, Alto, good buy-in. So again, if you're trying to follow what we're doing, we're talking speakers, we're talking Harbinger, we're using a Bluetooth to go from speaker to speaker. So do as I say and don't do as I do, because you really shouldn't be pulling out hot Bluetooth playing devices out of your speakers that are volume up, ready to go. Speakers are at 25%. Ribbon microphones, for all of you, ribbon microphones were before condenser microphones. They stopped using them for, you know, stuff where you were talking to people because they were very bass sensitive. So what we're doing here, if I use a condenser microphone, it would be shit. If I use a ribbon microphone, this picks up speaker and the low frequencies of your speakers really, really well. So this one's pretty much picking up these guys here. That one's split in the middle of those two and it's picking up that. And it seems to be doing a pretty good job. I did test it out, so I do appreciate that. Awesome. Okay, so want to play it again? Let's play it again. If you got questions, I'll answer them. Oh yeah, and I'll break some exciting news after the next playlist. So we'll go through the playlist. By the way, all this music's from Artlist, so I really shouldn't get copy striked. And if I do, I just have to prove that I'm an Artlist member. Awesome. Let's play this stuff. We're going to start again at the beginning, and we'll go from there. Find something. I gotta warm this up here and figure out where I'm going to go with my playlist here. So again, $100 more, double the power. $200, $300 is where we're going to go to now. before. Now, if you think you hear anything different, let me know. Because, I mean... So before we keep going, okay, Mike told me that the guy, whoops, hit the mic. Got to remember to hit my mic, hit my mic. There we go. I'm talking about mics. Mike, I'm talking about Mike here now. Boy, that gets confusing. Mike EP mentioned, actually, that's what I was trying to figure out. He actually knows it was Wise. Okay, Wise or Bill Wise, yes. He does comparisons. He does some comparison videos and he talks about products. He's usually always talking about JBL, stuff like that. Anyways, he doesn't have a ton of videos because he's kind of like redid his channel a bit. Anyways, but he did a comparison, yeah, and he had a vote on stuff and basically compare the Behringer, the Mackie Thump, and the Alto TS 415, and the 415 crushed it all, especially the Behringer. Like who here would put Behringer on their list of top 5 speakers to buy? I'm just saying. But I guess a year ago you would have probably said the same thing about Harbinger, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, if you're not going to a store to listen to it, wow. And there we go. Mike, I bought a couple of the TS412s about a year ago. No complaints. Exactly. Like I said, if you like a good quality set of speakers and you know what you're buying into, they are awesome speakers to buy into. And let's go. Let's finish listening to the last one, and then we'll do some comparison shopping here between these guys. Now this is the rental, so we're gonna move the cowboy hat to the end. It's not really a cowboy hat. It's my it's more my Australian Outback hat, but we'll call it a cowboy hat for tonight. And mute my mic. There's like 3 mics I have to manage here. gotta hit the buttons on the microphone. All right, I think we're making things sound better. Hopefully I don't get a double, because I noticed when I was doing some sampling, I think there was some echoing going on off of this, or not echo, but delay. So yeah, so remember, there's lots of features, not just sound. I mean, they sound really awesome, and I think a lot of people miss that. They're like, their expectations a little off, or not sure what they're listening to. And by the way, I haven't tweaked or EQ'd them off a bit. This one doesn't have any features on it at all, so even if you wanted to. The other guys are set in standard. You do have to remember that when you're running things with apps, now this one here especially, the 4400, has so many features in it. It's basically, it's a digital mixer with a speaker strapped to the front of it. That's how impressive that guy is. That is basically like buying a 5 or a 7 channel digital mixer. I mean, that alone would have cost you the price that they sell the speaker for. And this digital mixer allows you to have effects controls on each channel on the back. So when you're dealing with the speaker has the ability to have effects on it. So just like if you were running a regular mixer, you'd have all the echo, the reverbs, the delays, blah, 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 you know, like the 24 different, that has that all in it. Plus, just like a digital mixer, it has the ability to EQ the entire system. So you can set it up for pretty much any environment you want. Now, of course, you're going to play around with that. You're going to set it. And remember, they're always memorized. Like, program it in. If you play, some people go out and they're at like a different hall every weekend. Other people are at like 5 or 6 or 7 halls. And then they kind of cycle back, and because most people are in the neighborhood and that's where they're doing their gigs. You can preset your most popular stuff, or at least the popular room sizes. This way, any tweaking you've done is great. Plus, you can adjust that all on the fly. So you can put it on your phone or tablet, go into the space of the room, EQ it. Because a lot of times I tell people, you know, you should go around the front during your show and listen to what your speakers sound like while the show's going on. So that's a big, big deal. Now, that can also have a subtle drawback. As I was doing today, I'm going, why is it that that last speaker sounds so much more bassier than this speaker with the same song on it? It should sound better, but it shouldn't sound that much better. And it turned out that I still had I had the EQ effects were set up, and I had the 80 hertz cutoff turned on. The high pass filter was set on the speaker. So luckily enough, this one has a display on the back, and I was able to get in there, look at the display, and realize, okay, because you see the blue lights, so you know something's not right. The blue light's on the effect, so that means something is, you've turned something on. So I went in there and remembered, oh yeah, that's right, there it is. You can see it, it's right on the back, and turn it off and be able to control it from there. That's a complete digitally controlled speaker from the back, or from much more easier setups on the phone and tablet. Now this one here it runs off the same app, because they were smart enough to just make one app for everything. And this runs off their new app as well. But you're not going to get the EQ spectrums. You're not going to get the digital EQ or FX options that you see on the 4400. So some of the features just are like grayed out. They're not there for you. You don't even know they're there, because of course when it sees that you have a 3400, it's going to show you the digital options of the 3400. Now, that last speaker is still top end dollar. It's like 650 bucks. So it's way more expensive than this guy here. So unless you need to buy that, and I would buy that only if you're buying it for a school where it's going to get abused a lot, or if you're the main DJ who rents out and has like 4 or 5 guys working for you, and you supply them with the equipment they go out with, then you would get that. It's a much more rougher, tougher system. If you're going on a big tour and you want a tough speaker that can handle everything, go with the last ones. Plus, when you buy the last one, you're also getting the $75 bags included with each speaker. So that's something you're not going to pay for. It's included with the actual speaker, is that full zip around heavy duty bag. You can get subwoofers with these guys, no problem. And they do make a 12 and an 18. They make 2 18s. They make a heavy duty 18 square box to go with the last guy, which you can use with anything. or you get their standard VR18 or VR12. Is it VR or VX? What? Let me take a look. See, VS18 and VS12. So I'm going to go over and see if anybody's got any questions. But I mean, that's what today's show is all about. This, how it sounds, how it works, what you can do with it, and the fact that you need to use my link. That's what it's all about. So let's take a look. See here, James is messaging on the shorts version of the video, which a lot of people are watching tonight, and he's got yeah. So he's talking about the $450 to go from 3,400 to 44 is too much of the jump. Yeah, I mean, if it's what you want, it is. But you know, if it's too much, then that's okay. If you want something that's as good or better than, let's say, an Alto or a Thump, then you can certainly get yourself into the 3,400 at that price. And it's looking at the thing of the 4,400 be no more than $400. Well, you know what? You wait for it to be on sale. If it's not a good enough price today, wait for it to be on sale. Right now they're like, you're looking at a 10% off sale. What I also like, by the way, with Guitar Center is the trade-in value that you get for your stuff. So if you have equipment, this is very cool. Let me pull up a stool here. This is very, very cool. Let me tell you a story about trading in. Okay, you gather up all the stuff you have at home that you're not using anymore. That's all branded equipment. And you put it all in a box and you go down to your local Guitar Center. But you can look ahead of time and walk in and ask them, what's my trade-in value if I want to get a new set of speakers like the Harbingers, but this is what I have. So maybe you have some mics you're not using anymore. Maybe you have a wireless system. Maybe you have, so before it becomes junk to you, trade it in and you get rewards. Not to mention, every time you purchase, if you have a rewards program with them, you're actually going to collect rewards points with them as well. And those reward points also get you more discounts. If you take care of everything you can see between your rewards programs and your sales, you can easily get about 20% off. So, I mean, just work on it. It's all there. It's all there. There's lots of ways to save money with Guitar Center because they want you to buy and they're willing to work with you on that. Yeah, the rental does sound badass. That's a pretty good statement there, James. The rental does sound badass. If you're in the store and you hear both of these, if this is the only thing, like I said, I'm always concerned about, you're going to go to the store and I want you to go to the store and I want you to buy stuff. I want you to listen to it. And you can always like just say, I'm going to order it on my phone and just buy it when you go home or right when you leave the store and then walk back in and, you know, anyways, I only say that because, you know, that's how I pay the bills around here is with the app. So I really, you know, if you can buy it through the app, that would be awesome. Anyways, but yeah, this guy is very, very badass when it comes to power and sound. This guy, though, you can make this guy with all the bells and whistles sound the same as that guy or even better because you can tweak the bejesus out of it. But if you don't want to tweak anything, you just want to take a box, have some basic 5 DSP options on the back, that guy will do it, but it's got a price tag on it. So, but if you're looking for performance and power, these 3 top guys will give you the big performance and power. This guy will give you the same sound or power performance ratio, but just remember you're going to be capped here at around 85 dBs here. I'm going to try it and guess you're going to get to here. You're going to get to about 90, 93 dB. Here you're going to get to about 98 dB, maybe a little bit higher. And you're going to be the same at the end. The bass performance is going to vary as you move up. You're going to be able to generate more lower end frequencies. But remember, you're going to compromise. If you're going to add more bass, you're compromising your maximum dB output. You're just contouring in bass. Because if you're going to push the bass 3 dBs ahead of the highs in the rest of your music, that's got to come from somewhere. And it's going to come from the top end. So it's kind of like, you know, power shifting, because you want to have more power out of your car. So you go from overdrive, you drop it down into fourth, you step on the gas. You're going to restrict your top speed unless you shift back in the fifth gear. But by shifting back in the fifth gear, you're going to lose the bottom end. So if I get to, let's say, 93 dBs on, let's say, the 3400, and I want to get more volume out of it, I'm going to have to pull back on the bass and then bring it up a little bit. So pull back 3 dBs on the bass, and then you can go another 3 dBs up in the volume. So there you go. And let's see. Let's flip over to the full screen live show. What's going on there? All right. So yeah, there we are. There we are. All right. So let's give this another round. If people have questions about anything else, even though this is all about these speakers, let me know down below. I wish renting was possible in California. I've been through, so yeah, I've been through of setting up a garage biz. So they don't rent? I'm just checking here. So you're in California. Is it because you're not, I mean, you're in California, you got to be close to a Guitar Center, right? So I'm looking at Dropo. So, and if I'm not pronouncing it right, my apologies. Got to pronounce it in a video, and I'm a happy guy. GarageBiz, so that folks could try out gear before buying. Ah, yes, you know, that's always hard. And why can't you? You got to be able to go to Guitar Center and rent something. Not everything, right? You can't rent everything, but you're right. It's kind of like you need to have your own CES show. You know, just to have a group of guys to get together and try the shit that they all have together. So that would be cool. All right, let's give this another whirl, another spin, see what's going on. We're going to move the hat down. By the way, if you do like the music, it's available at Artlist. You're not buying the music, you're buying a reason to play music. So I only play license-free music here. So this is stuff I spend a lot of money on once a year to have a license. And they keep getting better and better shit. So if you're looking for your own YouTube channel, if YouTube through your monetization can't pay for that, don't pay for that. Just get. But if you're DJing out there and you're looking for something to play at your gigs, I'd say download some of the YouTube songs that sound pretty cool. Use that to play through your speakers, and then you don't have to worry about monetization or losing some monetization to somebody else who wrote a song or sang a song you played. So here we go. Here we go. Let's try it one more time. And by the way, this isn't like always a perfect. I do occasionally get strikes put against me, but then I show I have a license, and then it's like, oh, okay, too bad. So we're going to go back to the 1112. And if we get through this, I'll tell you the story about copy strikes. Let's try a different song this time. Let's go back to the playlist. Reset the mics. That's kind of showing off what the bottom of the speaker can do. There are certain songs that do a really good job of getting that bottom end in there. That's a pretty good one. So we're going to try the next guy right here. Doo-doo. That's a pretty solid piece of there. We're going to play something after and try something a little bit different style-wise. I just wanted to get through this one last piece. Now we're going to go to the 4400, and we're going to give that a try. So let's spin this off to the 44. Da, 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 da. There we go. And let's hit that one more time. And now we're going to go. Oh, that was, sorry, you were listening to the actual 34. Now I'm going to hit the last one. And by the way, just to fill in the blanks. See, I live in Oakville, Ontario. I live in a townhouse in Oakville. And I have neighbors. And I don't normally play it like this at nighttime. I normally play this when everybody's at work during the daytime. But at the same time, my neighbors on one side, their kids can play the music pretty loud at pretty stupid times of days. And he's got a car that's really super annoying when it comes to the muffler. So I don't care. We're going to do this last one, then we'll change up the music. I really got to remember to turn my mic on. So for any of you who just missed it, I was kind of bad-mouthing my neighbors. And I was explaining that I live in a townhouse in Oakville, Ontario. And one of my neighbors, really great guy, works, you know, all day. So I can do this during the daytime. The other folks, same thing. Daytime, they're gone. So I don't do too much at night. But I was saying, that side, kids can play the music pretty loud. I think even the wife plays music pretty loud. Anyways, how can I complain? I sell this for a living. This is what I do. So it's like when I used to sell car audio equipment and then somebody would drive down the street with a noisy car system. Not like I can complain about it. I probably sold it to them. So why don't we change up the music, and I'm going to go through the questions here, see if we got anything fresh and new, because, you know, that's always important. And yes, I'm sorry if I seem to be off, because I'm always trying to judge which microphones I have on at the time, and also, I have to manage 2 live streams, so I haven't mastered that yet. And so James not buying anything bigger than a 12-inch for a top. I don't, you know what? I'm not, a lot of people do buy 15s, and I think they buy 15s. They buy 15s with a misunderstanding of why. Because a lot of people just have this automatic impression that if you buy a 15, it's going to be louder, and if it's louder, it must be bassier. It must have better low-end frequencies. And to be honest, it's quite the opposite, I'd say. You do get a speaker that can carry further, because if you look at most companies who offer a 12 and a 15, you rarely see a power difference between the 12 and the 15. You are going to lose a little bit in the tightness and the bass response. That's why, for example, Mackie's double 8-inch subwoofer sounds so good at a really low frequency, better than most other speakers. It's just a factual thing with their products. So I'm talking to a white screen. So this is funny. It would be, if you're watching the short and you see me going back and forth, fine. But if you're watching The regular screen, you're not. So let me just flip this back again. Haha, transition. So yeah, so I don't need to repeat myself, but yeah, so it's very important to grasp what you're looking for. So the 15-inch is going to get you an extra, I'd say maybe 15 feet. So your drop ratio and your dBs, right? Because it's not about wattage, it's not about how loud you play it, it's about how much the sound tapers off. Now there's two ways to maximize sound, distance, and balancing it out. So I want it to sound, so here I am at the stage, so I'm at the stage, my audience ends here, my volume starts here, and it's going to go down. People in the back are going to hear it less than the people in the front, of course, right? We all know that. Now there's two ways to fix that problem. And so this way you're not killing him in the front with volume and the people in the back are going to enjoy it. Is one, raise your speaker height. So if you set up your speakers and you go, is that high enough? Try and get it up one more notch. Next time you have a gig, try pushing up your speakers one more notch. This is why I have a problem with line arrays or column arrays, because you don't really have that option too much. They're set height, they are what they are, and they're going to be what they're going to be. But if you push it up higher, you're gonna carry the distance because you're gonna clear everybody headwise. And you're gonna bring your sound further down. Now, the other thing you can do is have the right size speaker. A 10-inch, you're gonna get your dBs are gonna start to drop by a factor of 3 dB, about every 8 feet or sooner, 6 feet. Excuse me. Probably I'm gonna say 6 feet. So you're gonna drop in volume as you go down. Now again, you can put them up high so you clear people's heads, but you're still going to run into that dropping because it just doesn't have the energy to carry itself forward. It's got the volume, and it's kind of like having a small garden hose and putting your thumb on it. I'm going to pressure the amount of water that comes out, and I'm going to get a smaller jet of water that comes out of it, and I can get to go further, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get all that water. So if you hold it up higher, you're going to get that water to go further down. Now, the other way to do it is having a larger speaker driver. So instead of the 10 or the 12, you go to the 15, and the 15 is going to get you on a dance floor if you put that speaker up high. So this way the bottom of the speaker is at least at 6 feet. So that means the top of the speaker is at 7 feet. And unless you're doing a whole team of basketball players, you're pretty good to get yourself into that 25 to 35 feet down with having, instead of 6 to 12 dB drop, you're only going to have basically a 6 to 9 dB drop. And that may not sound like a lot, but that's the difference between how loud it is in the back of the room for entertainment level. That's much, much louder than having it even 3 dBs quieter. So big, big difference. And that's why you buy it, not for the bass response, because a lot of people have a hard time hearing it, and it's because it's not there, because we're compensating. If I'm building a larger driver surface, I need to put a bigger amp plate if I want to drive that extra bass response into that driver. So normally what I'm doing is I'm compensating. I'm saying I'm going to reduce the amount of overall frequency, lower end frequency response on it because I don't have the bigger core, but I'm going to be able to give a larger amount of push in front of the speaker, to larger surface. I'm going to push more air in front of the speaker to create those sound waves so it'll go further and stay louder. So that's what happens there. So a 12 is like the perfect compromise. So if we're going to compromise between, let's say, a 10-inch and a 15, well, guess where you end up? You end up right there with a 12. And a 12 can be used as a stage monitor. It can be used for anything you want it to be as the speaker goes. It can be close to the wall. It can be up high. It can be down low. 12 is a very versatile speaker, and that's why so many of them pretty much standard cookie cutter use the 12s to do all the heavy lifting. Again, I'd prefer to buy into these guys and have a sub. You know me, I'm always talking about a subwoofer. So if you don't think you need it, I'm not one to tell you. Your music is what's going to determine what you're going to use, right? So let's listen to something different than all this, and we'll wrap it up after that, because I want you to hear something different. I want you to hear something different. Let me see what I can find for you, and then we'll play that, okay? And we'll focus on the first one, the other, and the second one, because $199 for this guy here, come on. Let's see what I can find you, which is worth listening to. What's this guy here? Oh yeah. So, I mean, we can go with the variety of music all we want. I'm going to go over the other one. Again, I just got to be a little respectful at this point. So, let's hear that. This Bluetooth, by the way, as long as you keep it charged, pretty bulletproof stuff. So when you listen to this song that's playing right now that I'm going to turn back on, tell me if it's not a song that you feel like you've heard on the radio or in a TV show. I think a TV show it was in. I think it was not in Gold Rush, but there was another one. It was a different show like Gold Rush, Discovery Show, or History Show. Anyways, this is a great song, by the way.
Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
Get that one, and we're all good. Bluetooth. Works better if you change over to Bluetooth. So there we go. That's it. I wanted to give you guys, folks, everybody out there, a chance to hear what these speakers sound like, because, you know, it's first week of December, and if you're looking for big sales, buying this and stuff like that, and you haven't done that yet, there's a good opportunity. If you want to know anything more about the speakers, by all means, drop them in the comments or watch one of the other videos. But I'm going to be doing a lot more lives, and this is where I'm happy to announce, because this has just got dropped on me, that James, for the next little while, is going to be available for Sunday shows. So instead of it just being the gear guy, we're going to go back to the gear guys. And there you go. So he'll be able to host the show with me, and we'll be able to hit up all kinds of stuff on that special show. So this way you get the opinion of somebody who actually works in the field and somebody who supports people who work in the field. So this way you get two sides of the story every time. That's going to be pretty awesome stuff. And yeah, again, if you have questions about these speakers or anything else, by all means, let me know. And there's all kinds of brands out there, and I'm open to talk about anything, even if I don't have it. I go down to music stores all the time. I listen to products. I pay attention to what the manufacturers are doing. I've spent years doing that one specific thing, making buying decisions for my store, so this way I can bring that product to you and make sure that you as a customer are buying what you want, what you're looking for. Sometimes it might not be the piece you came in the store for, because we figured out that there was something better for you that you might not have seen or heard of, or maybe your expectation was here, but your budget should have been there, and we figured that out. If you've got questions on speakers, on mixers, let me know. I'll work it out with you. We'll figure out how to help you out. So there you go. I'd like to say thank you all very, very much. It's been a fun night. I do like playing these things. It gives me a chance. If there's anything else you want me to play and compare, let me know. If you want to get into more of the technical back end of these speakers in another video, so if you want to, I can set them up the other way, which would be very boring because there'll be no sound playing. We'll just look at the overall features. But if there's any other combination of speakers you think is awesome that I should be looking at, let me know and I'll see what I can do. So again, everybody have yourself a great night. I'd like to thank everybody, and I'd like to thank the fact that, James, we're going to be doing this show, and it's going to go back and forth. By the way, this show is working as a collaboration, the Gear Guys. So 1 week's going to be on his channel, and 1 week's going to be on my channel. So if you haven't subscribed to James's channel, which, by the way, once again, congratulations to James. He hit that 1,000. He's going to be at like 1,100. Now it's the boring part, because he's 1K. He's going to be 1K until he gets to 1.1K. So he's got to get that next 100, and then he's going to be flying. He's going to be flying. Yeah, definitely watch some of his videos. He's got so much interesting ways of looking at content. And yeah, so the Gear Guys, 1 week on my channel. So next week, I'm probably going to go on his channel, because we already had on my channel. So next week is going to be on his channel. If he's up for it, we're going to do it that way. And this way everybody gets to see it there. And then we flip back and forth. So I will have more lives. That's my intent now, because it's that time of year. You just got to get the videos, got to talk, get people interested, find out what everybody has got in mind, and hopefully we can help you out. All right, thanks for watching. This has been fun. we'll see in a couple of days. Oh, wait a minute. What? Oh my gosh, you know, look, Dan just showed up. Dan, you're late to the party, dude, but here you are. Dan's got Dan's Harbingers, great deal. Yes, Dan. And prefer 15s over 12s less to carry than offers bass without the need for so. Well, if you can pull that off, you let me know which speakers you got in the 15s. And you know what? We should talk one day about how you make that happen. All right, Dan? We're going to figure out how you decide to get more bass out of your speakers. So again, I'd like to say thanks very much, Rick. Thank you. Everybody who's been on the show tonight, thank you very much. And yes, FM, I see you there. I want to say hi to everybody that was there. I know there's so many people in the comment section, and I don't get to everybody because I'm pulling this off half-ass half the time. I do put a lot of effort to try and get it working, and then I kind of screw it up at the end anyways. But it came off pretty good tonight. I want to say thank you to everybody. It always takes 15 minutes to get everything going, but it worked out really well. Thanks for watching. I'm going to hit the end button now, and we'll see you soon.